Imagine never having tried golf and then just 18 months later playing in the final of a European matchplay tournament, teeing off with highly experienced players in front of an assembled crowd, filmed by professional cameramen for the golfing media. Miroslav Halmo faced this pressure situation just recently in the RSM European Playoff Series in England. He later said it was like something in a dream. But in his exalted state, he still talked much about helping other people with disability to enjoy golf, as he did his own game. Just 18 months in, golf has arrived in his life, and he's hooked. Miroslav Halmo was born with a missing lower right leg in 1977, a rare condition called hemiplegia, a tibial deficiency. He grew up near Topolčany, around about an hour from Bratislava, the capital city of Slovakia. Today, he lives in the city of Nitra. He was a happy and very active boy wanting to play the same games as his younger brother and the other kids, and with his parents' father, also Miroslav, who worked in trade fairs and exhibitions, and the mother Eva, an architect. Orthopedic technicians would fashion improvised prosthetic legs to help him as he played. Today, Miroslav laughs when he tells you about this because in the frenetic nature of children's games, his new leg was in constant need of repair and further adaptation for the growing boy. Coming from a supportive family, he would do well at school in his studies, but because of his disability, Miroslav found that he would start to learn a sport, then he'd really be enjoying it before reaching a stage where his missing leg hampered progress. It soon seemed that sport and the sociability of sport was quickly passing him by.
Well, I tried many sports, but it always came to the point, because I was born with disability, and every time I tried to do some sport, it came to the point where I was not able to compete. So from the beginning, it was really a big enthusiasm and starting to, and then you came to the point where you cannot continue anymore because, since you're disabled.
Many years later, in 2019, when he was 42, after a chance contact with golf via a company's social evening at a golf venue in the region, he finally found a sport in which he could improve continuously, to challenge himself and explore his potential while making a couple of new friends. And it seems one of golf's most recent converts is now loving every minute of his new journey. It wasn't all that easy at first, and Miroslav can clearly remember the shame he felt when visiting one club to practice, and the people on the terrace burst out laughing at his efforts. This, if anything, only deepened his resolve to find his own game and to stick with it. Talking with Miroslav Halmo in October 2021, it has been a whirlwind few months for him. We're here at Stratford-on-Avon Golf Club. He presents himself as a modest man. He reminds us he has only really started to play golf and is very much learning the game. He is at the beginning. He looks around himself in the clubhouse at Stratford in wonder at the polished old wood panelling with all the names of past winners. And this club is more than 100 years old, which is nestled in the leafy and historic Warwickshire town. For most visitors, here the drama is about Shakespeare, but this week there's more talk about Samuel Ryder, the godfather of the Ryder Cup, who was a member of the club and club captain in 1929 and 1930. Miroslav was here to play in the RSM European Playoff Series finals, one of 16 players who qualified by right through the world ranking for golfers with disability. 8 of the players qualified through the net ranking and 8 via the Stableford ranking. Miroslav had achieved this with a 31 handicap. They were here to play for 2 separate trophies in their groups of 8, matchplay knockout. Though Miroslav says he feels he was fortunate to qualify and is a little uncomfortable around the other seasoned players, he recognises he wouldn't be here without all the hard work he's put in. He has worked very, very hard on his game. He talked to us on the Tuesday after winning his quarter-final match to make the semi-finals. At this time, we were only joking about winning, lifting the trophy. To be honest, just getting through the first round was fairly monumental, recalls Miroslav, calling it 4.5 hours of real pressure.
Yeah, it was probably the toughest match I ever had.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. For me, this is the third tournament I'm playing. So I only had 2 before, and it was really very tough until the last minute. Basically, last hole, it was really even all the time. So it was like I was 1 up, then I went even, then he was 1 up, and it was like beating until the last hole. Was really amazing.
Was it? Yeah.
4.5 hours of really
pressure.
Miroslav loves the competition. He wants to win, but he stresses that he also loved the camaraderie of being part of a 16-person field. 7 nations were represented at Stratford, and one could see Miroslav joining in the chat, sitting with the other players and swapping experiences over a beer after their matches. The friendship around golf, around EDGA events like this is fantastic, Miroslav explained. He was also at pains to thank the supporters of the series, the team of people at RSM, and also the staff at Stratford-on-Avon Golf Club, who created a week that he said he would remember all of his life. Golf is new to Miroslav, and it nearly passed him by altogether. After college, he was an English teacher for a time before a stint as a project manager for the YMCA. He then worked in a bank before becoming a line manager for an international firm making parts in the automotive industry.
Also, it's pretty new in Slovakia, so we have a few golf courses which are very old, but we only have 26 or something like that golf courses in Slovakia.
Yeah.
So first I went to the States, I was like 1996, and I saw the first golfers there, and I tried some small playing, but I was not really, I didn't play, so I was just the first contact with the golf.
Yeah.
But then I came home and I realized there was absolutely no place to play, so for the next 20 years I had no chance to play.
Yeah.
And then we had this company evening at the golf course, a pretty new golf course. And that was the first time I came into contact with golf, and it was like 2 or 3 years ago. And then I realized this can be something also with disability that should not be a problem to play. And at that time I was searching for some sport I can do also when I'm getting older, so I can do also not only for a couple of years, I can continue also when I'm gonna be older.
Yeah.
And I was thinking since when I first saw it, it was really something that came to my mind. Well, okay, this can be something that I can really, because I don't like to hitchhike, I don't like to walk too much because it's difficult for my leg. But since there is a challenge in golf, and I don't really feel it, I don't really feel like walking too much. I can walk for a couple of miles and I have no problems with that. So it's like, yeah, this is something that really interests me because it is good for my health.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I don't feel like doing something for my health. I really like to compete, so I really love the sport.
For him, like with so many who love the game, there isn't just one factor that sets the game apart. More, it is the experience as a whole.
I've been to many golf courses so far, so I really enjoy the nature. I really enjoy the golf courses. It's beautiful. It's really something that you have to enjoy to be able to play. And at the same time, there is a challenge, and there is also, you can play, doesn't matter how old you are, doesn't matter how many years you played, you can still play together as different, if you come in different backgrounds, different age, different experiences, you can still play together, and this is something that was really, for me, amazing.
Remarkably, just 48 hours after this chat, a very proud Miroslav Halmo was holding the winner's trophy for the Stableford by the 18th green. At Stratford-on-Avon Golf Club, there couldn't have been a more deserving winner, while all present enjoyed his company over the 3 days. EDGA players tend to socialise well and support one another, and emails and phone contacts were being exchanged by the group, a new group of friends. Miroslav said the whole tournament was wonderful for him. The course and the organisation was perfect, and the atmosphere very friendly and motivating. He was pleased to make friendships with not only the players but also the RSM and the EDGA people and the local golf club members. Miroslav's improvement comes down to hard work and enthusiasm. His home club is called Golf Club Meander, an attractive 9-hole golf course 10 kilometres from his home. He tries to practice 7 times a week in the summer, and if he's lucky with time, he will put in 45 minutes for putting, chip and pitch for 45 minutes, and hit longer clubs for 45 minutes before playing 9 holes alone to play in his practice work. He started without a coach, instead an avid reader of the game and a viewer of instructional videos online. His first 2 golf books that he owned, Golf for Dummies by Gary McCord and Play Better Golf by Colin Howe, have been a goldmine for him. After the arrival of COVID-19, he stepped up his golf to the next level, entering some EDGA tournaments for the first time when possible, and starting under the tutelage of Slovak professional coach Anna Bolsikova. Interestingly, before working with Annika, the advice to him was not to fade or draw the ball. Don't use a driver. It was all too early for him. Fortunately, he ignored the advice, learned these moves, and the world ranking points he gained in his early tournament results allowed him to qualify for the RSM Playoff Series final. He is so enthusiastic about golf that he wants to help others find the game, now playing his part in Slovak Golf Association for Disabled Golfers.
So basically this organization, which is now a Slovak Association for Disabled Golfers, started basically in May. Mm-hmm. It was the first time we went in June. We went to the first tournament, all of us. It's like 4 players. And then the second match was also in Czech Republic. It was in August, and we had 7 people there.
Okay.
So we are only 7 people with disability playing golf. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure there's certainly more disabled people who play golf in Slovakia, but we don't know about them.
Yes.
Because there are 26 or 27 golf courses in Slovakia.
Miroslav enjoys watching golf and is naturally drawn to studying the very best professional tour golfers.
Yeah, because they did something that made them so successful, and I'm on the way. I'm still at the beginning, so every time I meet someone who is better than me, it motivates me a lot. And meeting those people, like we have some professional players also in Slovakia. We have a silver medalist, Rory Sabatini, who plays for Slovakia. Of course, he's not Slovak one, but he plays for Slovakia. Mm-hmm. And I had a chance to meet him a couple times, and it was a great motivation for me. It was really something that helped me to think about golf in a different perspective.
Ask about Miroslav's next aim, and he offers a highly positive ambition, one that will resonate with a number of other EDGA players.
I don't think about the future as in different handicaps. I think about future like where I want to be in maybe 5-6 years, and my perspective and my dream is to play the Paralympics.
Right.
I was so sad that there is no golf in Paris in 2024. But I heard that there's going to be a big chance that it's going to be in Atlanta 2028.
Yeah.
So if I have a dream, I really want to be there.
Miroslav was keen to thank all the people back home in Slovakia for their support.
Of course, I would like to say big thanks for Tony, because when I played, I never realized there is such contest like this one.
Yes.
And I was surprised to get an email from him, and I said, the email said, well, you're one of the 8 best players, you're invited, and it's like, I read it like 20 times, I could not understand it. It was a big shock for me, and I was so happy, just to be here with all the great players here, and it's amazing. And of course, back home, I have to thank to our president of the association, I have to thank the president of our golf club. I can train there every day, and my trainer. These are the people who really made it possible for me to be here in a golf perspective.
Miroslav mentions again the rapidity of his golfing journey and reveals that this week was the first time he'd experienced match play. He had to even learn the format quickly and learn what a gimme is. In the hallway of the clubhouse at Stratford, there's an oil painting of Samuel Ryder. Ryder might wryly be amused by the Slovak man staring at his portrait, a little unsure of match play when he arrived, but he would nevertheless recognise a committed and determined student facing him, and in terms of his spirit for the game and his courage to break into golf and reach his potential, there will be no doubt about that at all.